Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you so much for joining for another video. And yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers have agreed to a 3-year extension with head coach Mike Tomlin, which will take him through the 2020-2024 season. So that's fantastic for him. He's been coaching for the Steelers for 14, 15 seasons now, and he has yet to have a losing record. So he's definitely earned this extension. And it's coming at a decent time because of the fact that we all know that this may very well be Ben Roethlisberger's last year as a starter. So the Steelers are going to be transitioning again. So just being able to give him that security for the next 3 seasons, he's definitely going to need it. Now we all know how it works in the NFL. They may give you a 3-year extension, but you probably just have 1 year to show that you still are that guy, or else a lot can change in a year. But it's still nice, nevertheless, to know that they do want you to be around longer, especially as we have heard over the last couple of seasons, really, for whatever reason, that there was I guess you could say they were thinking about whether or not he'd be the right guy, just because the Steelers' expectations is to compete for Super Bowls, and then they clearly weren't the same Steelers that they were back when Antonio Brown, before the Antonio Brown fallout, I guess we'll call it, and then Le'Veon Bell as well. But yeah, definitely, he's made his impact there, being just the third head coach of the Steelers, which speaks volumes to how that organization is being ran, the culture that they have, and just Mike Tomlin as well. So yeah, that's great for him. Throughout his entire career in the NFL, in terms of being a head coach, he's been a head coach for 22 years, including being an assistant as well. And he's has a record of 198 wins, 137 losses, and 1 tie, which gives him a 59% win completion, and a playoff record. He's 11-10, so he's 52.3% when it comes to playoff percentage. Now, if you talk about the coaching tree that he falls up under, he has he's been an assistant for coaches such as Brad Childress, Tony Dungy, John Gruden. So those are some pretty good names to have that you've pretty much been associated with in terms of coaching trees. And not to mention, also up under him was Bruce Arians earlier in Ben Roethlisberger's career. So yeah, definitely a good coaching tree to fall up under, and he's pretty much been the head coach, like I said, going back to 2017, I mean 2007, I'm sorry. And yeah, during that time, the Steelers have compiled a record of 145 wins, 78 losses, and a tie. And yeah, that was pretty good. That's really good right there to not just have the because I remember back when the Bengals still had Marvin Lewis. I mean, he was there for a while, but his record did not look remotely close to what Mike Tomlin's record has been during this time frame. So yeah, to be the head coach 15 years and have that. Not only that, he has won the Super Bowl with the Arizona Cardinals as well. So that is pretty big to be able to say that yeah, you have a Super Bowl winning coach. How many teams can say that? When they beat the Cardinals 27-23 in one of the best Super Bowls, most exciting Super Bowls there was. That Cardinals team was a very good team, led by Kurt Warner, had Larry Fitzgerald and Cron Bolden. So yeah, to take down that team in the fashion in which they did with that tremendous catch by Santonio Holmes, that was pretty big. Um, so yeah, so that being said, yeah. And in terms of just going through the history of the records, his best regular season record on paper has been 12-4 in terms of just okay, I'm sorry. 2017 he went 13-3 with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but he went 12-4 3 times throughout his career. Obviously, last year with the Steelers they went 12-4 after starting off 11-0, and then basically just fell off, only winning 1 game since then, including the playoffs, losing twice to the Browns, which is not something that the Steeler fans are used to doing, losing to the Browns. But yeah, he had his worst record, obviously, as a head coach. It's been 8-8, which has kept him at that 500 mark. He's had that in 2012, 2013. That seat was definitely starting to get hot around that time frame. Also went 8-8 in 2019 as well. But yeah, looking at his last position before he became the head coach of the Steelers, he was actually a defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings for 1 year, in which the Vikings they went 6-10 that year before he ended up getting the call to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Prior to that, he was a defensive backs coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that stretch goes from 2001 to 2005. And if you remember 2001, that was um, that was, I believe, right before they had went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl in 2002, because that was Brady's first year winning the Super Bowl for the Patriots. So in 2002, when the Buccaneers went 12-4, he was a defensive backs coach during that. So he has an extra Super Bowl ring. So, but even then, before that, he was with the Browns for a year, um, and also with the Bengals prior to that. So, well, I'm sorry, this wasn't the Bengals. This was the Bearcats, Cincinnati Bearcats. So yeah, going back to college, and before that, Arkansas State Red Wolves. And his first ever career started in Memphis with the Memphis Tigers back in 1996 as a graduate assistant. And so, yeah, he was there for 1 year. They went 4-7 before he went on to Arkansas State Red Wolves as the wide receiver coach before being converted to the DB coach. So that is how Mike Tomlin got his start. And as you can see the results here, he's definitely had one heck of a coaching career, obviously one of the best in the biz. And we're excited to see what he's going to do moving forward. But thank you so much for watching this video. As always, as more news continues to drop, you can be sure to find it here. Hope you guys have a great day and look forward to speaking with you guys next time.